All right. So, went ahead and added Paul and Ken to this broadcast. Hopefully they'll see it later. So, all right. So I'm walking up to the feeder. You can see all my test corn on the ground. But in fact, actually, what time is it? Okay, good. We've got 20 minutes before it shoots me in the face. All right, so over here you can see there's my trail cam. So he's looking right at this feeder and anything that comes around it. Now I'm going to put this here lick. Now as you can see, I've got this lick here, and I'm going to put it back here so it's in the camera but kind of away from the feeder a little bit. So there's the camera, feeder, and then this will be our salt lick here. So I'm just gonna take the packaging off of this, and this is actually a really interesting block here. It's supposed to be full of grains and nutrients and a stupid amount of whatever deer need to be awesome. And so I'm just gonna set that out here. And yeah, according to the package here, it's a supplemental nutrition. And yeah, so it says select an area where natural food and water is. Well, I think we're that my neighbor this way does have a well, and it's got water in it. I don't know if it's rainwater or if it's actively being used, but that's all right. So here's this corn here. I'll tell you what, I don't like the smell of this corn. It, according to the bag, it says that, oh, that's all right. We don't have much time till this shoots us in the face. But here you go. Now there's, well, that's a washed out deer track. But we had some better ones, and I can't recall where they were. I just actually picked this spot because this game trail here, well, up until it became my tire tracks, looked actually really well used. So I'm excited to see how it goes. But, and then there's some more. Now, is this regular or is this? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this one, you can kind of see the thorns. So that's going to be a bigger honey mesquite. More mature than the one we looked at before with the tiny little leaves. So, all right, so we're coming out of here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive to the other corner of the property just so you can kind of get an idea of that, and then I figured why not take a spin around Dos Senderos Ranch, which is the name of the ranch. Obviously this part's named HTG, or Hilltop Gardens, but the actual ranch, I'm going to set this down, is Dos Senderos is the name of it. So, but here we go. So we'll continue on. We've already seen this part, and I got up and showed everybody the other parts. So Ken and Paul, if you wind up watching this, you're going to have to watch the ones that you didn't get an invite to because, well, fuck you, that's why. So, moving on. Alright. So there's some treeage there. Now we got this dead mesquite there, right there. Just above my finger, you can see that dead one. Now we're gonna cut him down and put him in the smoker. We've got another dead one right here. So, unfortunately, darn it, I'm gonna have to go buy a chainsaw, I think, and just have all kinds of good smoking wood here. So I'm nervous about some of it being maybe a little fungus infested, but that's all right. And I'm actually gonna, as much as I said moving into here, and Elijah's gonna laugh at me for saying this, but I said I didn't want to have to tend anything here, but I'm gonna have to. Oh, now here, is that it? No, that's not it. That might be it, but I'll look at another one. I said I didn't want to have to tend any of the vegetation out here, but the more I look at what's going on. And oh, now see this sage right here, and I don't know if you can see it where you're at, but it is just covered over in dead blossoms. That is amazing. Wow. Okay, all right, I promised we're going left. Okay, I was gonna go right, but anyways, so here, and this is just all you can just see. We are just surrounded, can't even see past the sage on either side. Just sage, sage, sage. It's amazing how far it goes. So, and a lot of dead mesquites out there. Great firewood, actually. So we'll be, anyways, so I said I didn't want to tend any of the vegetation out here. I just wanted to put bees out here and worry about bees. But really what it boils down to is healthy bees or healthy plants equal healthy bees. So I'm probably gonna, before my bees come in March, I'm probably gonna come out here with an insecticide and try and kill anything trying to eat my mesquite trees. So all right, so this is the edge of the property right here, and unfortunately you can see there's no good spot to turn around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue down here. I'm going to trespass a little bit again and go down here and turn around. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the little plant here. Now this is what Elijah suggested to be. Is it where I saw a pod? I swore I did. Where'd it go? Maybe I'm just making it up. Maybe I just, oh, see, I see one, but he's buried up in there. You can't see him from here. We'll have to find one. There's more by the entrance to the ranch that have, oh, now there's some pods. There's some pods. Okay. So let me back up just a little bit. So Elijah, now if you look, I'm going to zoom in here and hopefully it doesn't wash us out. Now if you look right here above my finger, see that dark spot there. Now that is a pod. Okay, and it's really hard to see from here. But there's more on there as well. Let me get out and point to it here. Now, Elijah wanted to call this, and I'll zoom back out, a tamarind based on these pods and the little fronds. And I mean, I don't know any different to say she's right or wrong. But if it is a tamarind, the fruit is used in various candies. And also, it produces pollen and nectar for honey as well. So, there you go. So just sitting right here, that plant right there and any of his cousins next door, the mesquite trees you can see over the tops, and then here, where you can't see anything but sage. Everywhere we look is a patch of ground that will produce pollen and honey. There's some thistle right here. Now see these thistles? Right now these thistles produce honey. Not many people know that, but they do. They produce pollen and nectar, and their nectar makes a very good honey. Wild thistle honey is actually quite often used. It tends to be darker and used in baking quite a lot. Though to be honest, it's funny because a lot of the research and just things I've looked at said, okay, well, you know, the darker the honey, the more often. Okay, now here we go. Here's another one of these tamarinds, and here is a really good look at a pod. And you can see that. But oftentimes a lot of the guys, they're, okay, the darker the honey, it's gotta be used for baking. And to be honest, I don't understand that logic. Now to be fair, I've cooked with honeys of all colors, and I haven't had one I didn't like, and I can't say I've had one I liked more. Now here's this, like I said, I was saying there was a well over here. So this guy's got a well, and both of them are just full of water. I don't know if they're active wells or if that's just build up from the last time it rained. It's hard to say either way, but either way, I plan to, we will have a tank, and we will provide water to the bees. So all right, so I'm gonna get turned around, and I'm gonna go back to the corner where we were at, and we'll take a good look at, once we're back next to Hilltop Gardens, we'll take a good look at now here's some more of this tamarind So we'll take a good look at this side of Hilltop Gardens, get everyone to have a good look at it. So, but off to the left here, now this doesn't pertain to me, and technically this over here doesn't belong to me either. In fact, this is one of the few areas that my neighbor hasn't cleared or mowed, and I don't know if that's selective. I actually hope to meet him and talk to him at some point to find out. I'm curious to know what his uses are for this other than hunting. I mean, obviously he's got that nice big blind there, so I don't know what he's gonna do other than hunt it. All right, so we're back onto Hilltop Gardens off to the right here. All right, so the center of this road is, it's a road. The center of this road to the right is Hilltop Gardens. All right, so it's thinned out a bit here. I'm gonna hop out and hop in the back, and we're gonna take a look here. All right. Okay, so what we can see here, this is starting over there, down and around, all the way back to those train tracks is Hilltop Gardens. Oh, it's gorgeous. And unfortunately, I don't see that herd of deer that I was hoping to, but that's all right. They'll get that whiff of that food I left for them and start coming in, I hope. And eventually, once me and Mr. Shrewsbury get out here with our bags of concrete and start pouring, I'm going to pour a water tank. I'm going to build us a water tank out of concrete and have it feed into a trough, just a small trough that the deer will be able to drink out of, and more importantly, the bees will be able to drink out of it. So, and we continue on. I really like this live broadcasting thing. I'm doing this all the time. So if you're watching this, just, get ready, because I'm about to be sending you guys link after link after link to see my videos. I mean, hell, to be fair, I've got a lot of beekeeping documenting to do and stuff, so there you go. But all right, so there's more Hilltop Gardens, and Hilltop Gardens, so it runs from back there up to, and I'm not sure where on this cul-de-sac it ends, but it's right up here. So it's like right over here, and they had a stick that was marking it. There's a little chipmunk or prairie dog or something. So, but all right. So there's Hilltop Gardens. Now, if you're still watching this, and you probably are, because y'all love me to death, we'll continue and go. Now, if you look here, now look at this nice cul-de-sac that the owners made. So in this county, it's I guess you could call it a little county road. It's just a local access road. Me and the other owners, we're actually going to be paying $2 an acre per year to maintain this road. So it goes into a fund, and whenever it needs fixing, they fix it. So, all right, so we'll go around, and I really hope, it's getting later in the evening. The weather doesn't look too good, so that might be a detriment to finding some animals. But there hasn't been anyone on this property today except for me. So I'm hoping that with that lack of activity, we might go down here and find, now, what's this on the road up here? Now, that's a vulture, I think. Just looking at it from here, he looks like a vulture. Yeah, that's a vulture. So we've got vultures. I don't know if we can eat vultures. I mean, I guess we can, but I don't know that you would want to. I don't know, maybe. Probably tastes like chicken. But here, let me zoom in here. You can see that vulture down there. And I'll zoom back out. All right. So, oh, look, see, you can see the chip in my windshield. Yeah, I got that the other day. So, all right, so we come down this way here, and we end at another cul-de-sac. Now, oh, no way. All right, folks, we're gonna go take a walk over here because you can't see it from here, and I want to see it. I just found a feral beehive. Now I'm gonna approach it slowly because it is possible that they are Africanized. All right, that is a possibility. But that right there, in that deer blind right there, there is a feral beehive. And I'm gonna ease up to it. Now the biggest thing is about bees, you gotta keep still and you gotta keep calm. Now can you see that activity on there? Oh, I hope you can. Yes. That's a feral beehive. And look, if you look in the sky, you can just see them coming and going. Coming and going. Yes. That's amazing. Now, I don't want to get too close. Now, you see their activity. Their activity right now is actually rather aggressive for two reasons. They're rushing in and out of the hive because that weather's coming and they know it. So that's why they're going to be, how you see them just boiling, just coming and going, boiling. But at the same time, I don't want to get too close because this close to the fall, right now they're stockpiling honey. And when they're stockpiling honey, they get really protective of that honey. So getting too close to it right now could be really bad. But I'll tell you what, I would love, if I had my bee suit with me right now, I would love to just get right up there. Because I'll tell you what, that hive might become mine. I might have to come and capture that hive. Oh, now fun fact here. You see these dragonflies flying around in here. They're actually eating the bees. Dragonflies eat bees, honeybees. So I wish I could get closer though. I'd love a chance to see what kind of bees these are. Just to get a look at their coloring and see how they look. But that's all right. I'm not suited and they're pretty excited right now. The weather's not helping. So on a clear day, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna look at that hive. So, all right, moving on. And I still just don't see now that is a great find. I am so happy I found those bees right there. That just makes my day. Bees, people, bees. All right, so now we go over here. Now this vulture, he's moved now. Oh, there he goes. He's flying away now. He didn't find anything he liked, I guess. So now what was this that came and walked in this mud here? Something was over here walking in this mud recently. And I can't tell. Oh, that's a deer. Okay, those some deer tracks there. That's some deer tracks. I don't know if you can see them very well on the camera. But that's great because that mud is relatively new. It rained here a couple, 3 or 4 days ago. I think would have been the last time it rained here. Unfortunately, it was raining, well, a lot in San Antonio, but it didn't get it very much down here. So let's see if I can ease over here. Man, I could sit here for days and just watch those bees. Look at that. I just sit here and watch those bees work. Oh, gorgeous. And there they are. They're just right there. I wonder if we get further over, if we can see the entrance maybe. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. I actually can see the entrance. They're going through, and I doubt you can even see it on the camera, but they're going through just a slit in the wall right there. I wouldn't be surprised if we open that wall to find it just full of honeycomb and honey and bees. Oh, and unfortunately, I said earlier that I'd love to trap that hive, but the problem is well, Texas has Africanized honeybees, and the last thing we need is to introduce it. Now, what I could do is I could go ahead with my plan to trap it, but what I'd have to do is as soon as I had it trapped, I'd have to find the queen and kill her, and then buy a new queen and put a new queen in with them, just to make sure that I wasn't bringing home any Africanized bees. So Africanized bees, now here you go. This is to quell the concerns. The Africanized bee or killer bee. Now I'm just gonna tell you this while I just look around. We're just taking a look at Dos Senderos Ranch. So I don't know what areas I'm allowed to drive on and what I'm not. I know I can stay on this Kalish Road here, and there's actually another one over on the other side, but I'm not gonna mess with it. I don't need to go look over there. But anyway, so the Africanized bees, they make honey and you can work with them. The only difference is they can get, well, a lot more aggressive than your Italians or Carniolans or Buckfast bees. And then there's a dozen other bee breeds. But you can work them, you can make honey with them, you can actually be quite successful. Most, there's actually quite a lot of honey out of Mexico that is labeled killer bee honey, and they do that because of the, oh man, you're getting killer bee honey. But fun fact is that killer bee honey is no different than any other honey. There's no difference. It's nectar that they work and process and dry and turn into honey. So yeah, but in Mexico it's legal for them to maintain and work with Africanized or killer bees, whatever you want to call them. In the United States it is not. In the event that you get a colony that gets Africanized, they call it, which is taken over by an Africanized queen, you have two choices. You can either brave the stings and go in to the hive and kill the queen and re-queen with a non-Africanized queen, or you seal up the entrances at night and dump soapy water down it and drown them all. So neither one is a great option, to be honest. Obviously killing them all is the easier way. You get a lot less stung that way, but you just killed 10,000 bees. So, and well, that's a problem. So, but no, seeing that wild beehive right there says that the bees can thrive in here and are doing so. So I am just ecstatic about that. But all right, so now we're coming to the end here, and this is Dos Senderos Ranch. Now, any of y'all looking for to buy property, they have quite a lot of lots available. I'd love anyone to come be my neighbor out here. And actually, Elijah and I, we've talked about it. This actually may very well end up. Now, there's a dove right there, and I think dove season's open. No, dove season opens in September. So coming up pretty quick, you could come out here and shoot that dove. Not right now. But no, I think there's a good chance Elijah and I will probably end up retiring out here, and we may even try building on Hilltop Gardens at some point. So we'll see how she goes. But yeah. So alright, well, there, I shared my property with all y'all. You may or may not have enjoyed watching it. Trying to figure out what that is. It looks like the catapult. But anyways, so anyways, you guys take it easy. Appreciate you watching.